You texted me at 10:30. I read it 17 times again. My ceiling became a movie screen of every future in between. I saved your number 3 different ways, by name, by heart, then by the date. I know that's not what anyone does, but that's what you turned me into, I guess. It was nothing much, just thinking of you, but I built a whole world from those 3 words I knew. Started with the ending, filled the middle in. That's the kind of hopeful I have always been. You were my cosmos, my early morning light. I mapped your laugh lines like constellations at night. I gave you everything before you even asked. First love burns the brightest, even if it doesn't last. I made a universe from a single glance, rehearsed 1,000 futures in advance. You'll never know how far my mind would go on everything you said and didn't know. I kept your hoodie, washed out blue, left a voicemail I never sent to you. I drove past your house on a Saturday, told myself it wasn't out of my way. I didn't know that love could cost this much, or that wanting too much is just another kind of touch. The most expensive thing I've done for free. It was nothing much, just a smile in the rain, but I saw forever hiding there in your name. I sketched out seasons, I wrote out scenes. God, you had no idea what you meant to me. You were my cosmos, my early morning light. I mapped your laugh lines like constellations at night. I gave you everything before you even asked. First love burns the brightest, even if it doesn't last. I made a universe from a single glance, rehearsed 1,000 futures in advance. You'll never know how far my mind would go on everything you said and didn't know. I don't blame the stars for fading out, that's just what first love is all about. I wouldn't trade a single burning mile for the way you made me feel worthwhile. Even now when I hear a certain song, I'm back on the street where I first went wrong, in the best possible way, in the most beautiful way. Maybe loving too much is just who I am, and maybe that's okay. You were my cosmos, you were my first everything. The reckless kind of love that makes you feel something. I'd do it all again if I'm being honest. That's what first love cost you, that's what it's worth. You were my cosmos, my early morning light, still carrying your name like a star I can't find right. I gave you everything before you even asked. First love burns the brightest, even if it doesn't last. Even if it doesn't last. You were my cosmos, my cosmos. I'd do it again, my cosmos. You used to text me back before I even hit send. Now I'm counting minutes, watching clocks bend. I checked your story at 11:46. I know you schedule better now, I'm not sure that we fit. I ran the math on when you usually reply, weekdays before noon. But lately it's like you moved to a different time zone I can't find, and I'm still standing in the one you left behind. I'm building hurricanes from a change in your tone. I'm doing math on love and I keep getting it wrong. I know I'm spiraling, I can hear myself, but no one doesn't stop it, I can't help. 3 dots appear, 3 dots disappear, and I'm dissolving in the space between here. I see the read receipt, but nothing comes through. I was so sure I knew how to be close to you, but now I'm just 3 dots appearing, gone. Typing on my heartbeat, then deleting it all. I had a whole paragraph, then I had one line. Now I'm staring at a blank like I've lost my mind. I rehearse the question, I'm too scared to say, are we okay? 17 different ways, casual then direct, then I pull it all back. I type, I delete, I watch the cursor track. I used to sleep so well in the crook of your arm. Now I'm wide awake, setting off alarms inside my own chest in the middle of the night, wondering if your silence means we're not alright. I'm turning every silence into something it's not. I know I'm overthinking, but I cannot make it stop. I screenshot the last thing you said and I zoom in, looking for a sign that I know doesn't live in there. 3 dots appear, 3 dots disappear, and I'm dissolving in the space between here. I see the read receipt, but nothing comes through. I was so sure I knew how to be close to you, but now I'm just 3 dots appearing and gone. Typing on my heartbeat, then deleting it all. I had a whole paragraph, then I had one line. Now I'm staring at a blank like I've lost my mind. I don't want to need this much, I don't want to flinch at every touch. I don't recognize the version of me that's reading into everything you breathe. I want to ask you if we're fine, but the question feels like crossing a line. Or what if I ask and you say yes, and I still won't believe it? What does that say about me? I'm scared that the problem is me, that I've turned love into math I can't solve. So I just watch those 3 dots blink, and I keep sinking deeper in the spiral I built with my own hands. 3 dots appear, 3 dots disappear. I've been rehearsing this conversation for a week. I see your name and my whole body wakes, then goes cold again when the notification fades. 3 dots appearing and gone, trying to explain the distance in the song. I had a whole paragraph, then I had one line. Now I just wanna ask if you're still mine. 3 dots, 3 dots, 3 dots, and I'm gone. Are you still there? 3 dots, gone. I found your playlist still saved on my phone. It shuffled on a Sunday, ended up alone, with all the songs you queued before you left the room. And now they carry something I can't quite consume. I made your pasta recipe last Tuesday night, used a little too much salt, but it came out alright. Stood over the pot and laughed a little bit, then sat down at the table and just had to sit. It's not grief, it's more like weather that moves into your bones and stays there. Not a storm, more like the season changed and left your coat on the back of my chair. You left your residue in the way I make my coffee every morning, in the songs I hum when I don't know I'm humming, in the habits I borrowed that I never gave back. You left your residue in the corners of the places that we had, in the way I look at doorways when I enter, like I'm still expecting you to be exactly there. Your residue, your residue, still living in the ordinary air. I still go left at the corner where we'd always stop to check the moon. You said it was an underrated spot. I looked last November, thought of what you'd say. It's half tonight, which half do you want to keep? I kept mine, and it still feels like a small gift, the way you taught me how to look at things that shift. I see the world a little differently now. I carry your perspective and I don't know how to give that back. It's not nostalgia, it's more like presence of someone who's become a kind of lens. You rearranged the furniture inside me and left without putting it back. You left your residue in the way I make my coffee every morning, in the songs I hum when I don't know I'm humming, in the habits I borrowed that I never gave back. You left your residue in the corners of the places that we had, in the way I look at doorways when I enter, like I'm still expecting you to be exactly there. Your residue, your residue, still living in the ordinary air. No anger left, no chapters I would rewrite, just the gentlest kind of ache I carry through the night. Some people don't stay long, believe the longest prince, and you are every corner, every quiet Sunday since. I'm not waiting for you, I want you to know I've made a home in the life I have to grow. But you're woven in the fabric of the person that I became. And honestly, I think I'm glad things went that way. You left your residue, and I've stopped trying to wipe it clean. Some things become a part of you, so deep you can't find where the edges are between. You left your residue in the way I make my coffee every morning, in the songs I hum when I don't know I'm humming, in the habits I borrowed. I'll just keep them now. Your residue, I'll keep it. Your residue, still here, still warm, still mine somehow. 2, 3, 4. I don't clean before you come over anymore. You've seen the mess behind my bathroom door. I laugh too loud and cry without a cause, and you don't flinch, you never even pause. I eat cereal at midnight when I can't sleep. You've seen me at my worst, and you still keep showing up, showing up, showing up for me, which is not what I expected love to be. I used to rehearse the version of me you'd see, press every wrinkle flat before you looked at me. Now I just pick up when you call. I used to be so careful, now I'm not at all, and I'm undone, done, completely undone. Gave you all the pieces I was hiding from everyone. I'm not afraid of what you're going to find. You took the walls I built and left them all behind. I used to keep the real parts under lock and key, but you kept being kind until they came out free, and undone. God, I'm so undone. You know the 3 a.m. when silence gets too loud, you showed up with bad coffee and a crowd of all the ways to stay without a word, the kind of love I never thought I'd heard. I told you things I've never told a soul, the parts I keep to stay in control, and you just nodded slowly, said I know, like you've been waiting. to be seen. Not just the good parts, but the space between. I gave you roots and you gave me the sky. Didn't know that love could feel this terrifyingly right. I thought that being loved meant being perfect first, but you came in and you loved me at my worst. And the strange thing is I feel more like myself with all my pieces out here on your shelf. And I'm undone, completely undone. Gave you all the pieces I was hiding from everyone. I'm not afraid anymore. I threw away the key, I left it at the door. I used to keep the real parts under lock and key, but you kept being kind until they came out free. And I'm undone, completely undone. And it's the best thing that I've ever been. I'm undone, terrifyingly right. Still undone, still here. I stopped checking my phone for permission to rest. I stopped shrinking myself to pass someone else's test. I used to pre-apologize for taking up space. Now I walk into rooms at my own pace. I put my own name at the top of the list. Turns out I had everything I always missed. It was here the whole time, under all the trying, under all the versions of me that kept on dying to be palatable to someone else. I used to give myself away like spare change, like my worth was something someone else could gauge. Now I'm buying back my time, rearranging every room in me that needed changing. I'm whole on my own, not half of something waiting to be found. I'm whole on my own, roots going deep, feet on solid ground. I used to think that love would make me full. Turns out I was already beautiful. I'm whole on my own. I take myself to dinner, book the table for one. I order what I want and stay until I'm done. I buy myself the flowers I was always waiting for. I leave for trips I used to think I couldn't take alone. I know what I compromise and what I won't. I know which nights I want company and which I don't. I know the sound of my own voice when it's certain. No longer tangled up behind someone else's curtain. I used to call it selfish every time I said no. Now I call it knowing when to let things go. And here's the thing that took the longest: learning. Choosing yourself isn't closing, it's discerning. I'm whole on my own, not half of something waiting to be found. I'm whole on my own, roots going deep, feet on solid ground. I used to think that love would make me full. Turns out I was already beautiful. I'm whole on my own. I'm not cold, I'm not closed, I'm just choosing where my energy goes. I can love you, I can stay, I can meet you where you are, but I need to love me first. That's not asking too much, that's not building up a wall, that's knowing what I've got. That's the thing I had to find before I came to you. And whoever comes into my life from here is gonna gonna get the fullest version of me, not the one who shrinks, not the one who waits, not the one who disappears. I'm whole on my own, and if you want me, you should know you're getting someone who already has a home inside herself, inside her bones. I used to think that love would make me full. Turns out I was always whole on my own. Whole on my own. Oh, I'm whole. Yeah, I'm whole, and that feels good. You know exactly how I take my tea. You move through the kitchen like you own the place too. We share it now, this ordinary life, the kind that doesn't need explaining to someone who gets it. I leave my books on your side of the bed. You leave the window cracked even when it's cold. We've argued over nothing and laughed at how we did the small domestics of a life that's being built. No grand gestures, no movie lines, just Tuesday mornings and the slow accumulation of time. No fireworks, but the kind that stay, the ones that burn quietly in the same direction every day. I wanna grow into silver years with you, through every quiet morning, every sky that turns to blue. I don't need fireworks, I need forever. I want the long, slow version of together. I want the inside jokes that only we can understand, the shorthand that we've built across the years by hand. I'll take the silver years, give me the silver years with you. We don't always have to fill the silence up. We built a language in a coffee cup, a look across the room that says enough. That's the kind of love I want to trust. You know the specific way I overthink, and you let me do it for a while, then bring me back. I know you're tired from your energized. I know how to read the difference in your eyes. I think this is what people mean when they say safe. We've been through every season, every storm, and I still reach for you to keep me warm. Not because I can't stand on my own, but because reaching for you is becoming home. I wanna grow into silver years with you, through every quiet morning, every sky that turns to blue. I don't need fireworks, I need forever. I want the long, slow version of together. I want the inside jokes that only we can understand, the shorthand that we've built across the years by hand. I'll take the silver years, give me the silver years with you. I used to think that love was burning bright, the kind that keeps you up, the kind that starts a fight, the kind that's so consuming it's almost not sustainable. But maybe love is a lamp left on through the night, steady, constant, quietly alive. Not the race, but the arriving, not the falling, but the staying. When every reason to leave comes and goes, and you're still choosing this, still choosing ordinary mornings, still choosing me. I wanna grow into silver years with you, gray at the temples, slower but still true. I don't need fireworks, I need the kind that burns low and clear and never loses light. I want the inside jokes that only we can understand, and when I forget them, you'll remind me. Take my hand, I'll take the silver years. Give me silver years. Silver years. Give me you. Silver years with you. Silver years. All my silver years with you. Just like this, like always, like this. We sat by the window like we always do. You ordered the usual, I ordered it too. And nobody said it, but we both understood that staying much longer was less than we should. The coffee grew cold, neither one of us moved. We were two people finding the same groove of knowing this was it, but not wanting to be the first one to say what we both could see. No scenes in the parking lot, no dramatic last words. Just two people loving each other enough to let go first. We've been practicing this for months in small ways, quietly preparing for exactly this kind of day. So we said it gracefully, like a door closing slow, like leaves off a tree. We said it gracefully, not because it was easy, but because love should be a little more gentle when it finally leaves. We chose the kinder version of the end. Said goodbye like we were still each other's friends. I helped you pack your winter coats. We laughed about the rain, the ones we shared last December we won't share again. You gave back my spare key without being asked. Some endings are just careful, some loves just outlast their own capacity to hold what they've grown. We didn't fail each other, we just outgrew the home we built in the beginning, when we didn't know how much of ourselves we'd lose as we go. I won't let the grief become a scene in public. I'll save the crying for the drive back on the 15, when the radio plays something you would have liked, and I can fall apart for exactly one red light. So we said it gracefully, like a door closing slow, like leaves off a tree. We said it gracefully, not because it was easy, but because love should be a little more gentle when it finally leaves. We chose the kinder version of the end. Said goodbye like we were still each other's friends. Not every love that ends was wrong. Not every parting means you don't belong. We just grew into shapes that couldn't fit the same frame, and it's okay to love someone and let them go anyway. I'll remember this moment, the quiet, the care, the way you still looked at me like you were still there, the way you held on a second longer at the door, like you wanted to say something you had no words for. Me too, I thought, me too. So we said it gracefully, like a door closing slow, like leaves off a tree. We said it gracefully, and I want you to know that I'm glad it was gracefully. I practiced in the mirror last Tuesday. Found the right words, threw them all away. Tried it casual, tried it sincere. Tried it like it didn't matter, tried it clear. You laughed at something, I forgot to breathe. You reached across the table, brushed my sleeve. You had no idea what you did to me. I've been holding this for weeks and weeks and weeks. I almost let it slip when the night grew still, but I swallowed every syllable because you looked so peaceful in the not knowing. And I was scared of what would change with show, and I almost said it, standing at your door. Almost crossed the line, I traced across the floor. I almost said it, you were almost mine. But almost is the word I wear like a spine. I had the whole thing ready, had the courage line, but I looked into your eyes and I changed my mind. I almost said it, but I didn't. I archive every ordinary day, a Tuesday when you said my name that way. The way you pour your coffee, never stir. The way you hum but never know the words. I've memorized the timing of your laugh, the particular way you take a photograph, with your head tilted slightly to the right. I know things about you I got no right. I almost let it show in a crowded room, but I folded all my feelings up too soon, because you seemed content in our arrangement, and I couldn't risk the permanent estrangement. I almost said it, standing at your door. Almost crossed the line, I traced across the floor. I almost said it, you were almost mine. But almost is the word I wear like a spine. I had the whole thing ready, had the courage line, but I looked into your eyes and I changed my mind. I almost said it, but I didn't. Maybe love is just a word I keep on lending to a feeling with no place, no real ending. Maybe I was wrong to think that you'd be ready, so I keep my hands right here, keep my voice still steady. But every time you smile and look away, I practice the thing I never get to say. It's 4 words, it's easy, it's right there in my chest. I almost, you can guess the rest. I almost said it, I almost let it out, almost gave you everything I've been keeping about. You're still not knowing, still smiling at your phone. I'm still over here practicing alone. I almost said it, you were almost mine. I've been writing this speech line by line. I almost said it, but I didn't.